Hiya and welcome to this week's video, and this week we are talking all things Chinese water dragon and going into depth about my water dragon setup. His name is Eragon. He's about 3 years old. I did pick him up at around 6 weeks or 25 grams, which is what most pet shops sell him at, a reptile shop in Raynham. He's not the most handleable and he has destroyed pretty much all of his vivarium. I need to refresh a lot of things and mix things up to give him some more to do because he started to throw himself at the glass. Unfortunately, Eragon's had to spend some time at the vets, which he wasn't too pleased about. He has currently got 2 types of parasites. The vets gave me some medication for him which will help get rid of the parasites. He's already had a dose of it and has got to have the second one in 2 weeks time, and then to go back 2 weeks after that to make sure that the parasites have gone. I will be doing a fecal sample that I will be sending off to a laboratory to get a complete worm count, which was recommended to the vets because my current reptile specialist is off sick, unfortunately, so I've had to go somewhere else. But I want to show you the current setup that he's got, which he's quite happy in apart from destroying everything, so I do need to replace it. And I will show you a complete tour. We're going to start from top to the bottom of his enclosure and show you everything that he's got in his setup. So currently I use this fogger, which is I've set on a timer, which goes off 4 times a day for 15 minutes to fog up his vivarium, as Chinese water dragons need it to fluctuate with the humidity. It goes between 70 and 80, and then just before the fogger goes on, it goes down to 60%. Without his humidity, he won't be able to shed properly. I also have this ring system, which goes across the top of his vivarium. This I turn on manually because I had it on a timer once before and it flooded the entirety of the bottom of the viv. I know they like it wet, but it got ridiculous. And for heating and lighting, so for heating he has this heat bulb which goes to... So Eragon currently has a digital habitat, which is here. This controls both his heat bulb and his UV bulb from the same setting. It tells me what percentage his dimming set on. He has to have it dimming. The on and off bulb does not keep heat consistently. The temperature that I've set it to, and it's what it's currently at, and then the time that it comes on and off. I like this dimming habitat because it mimics the sunrise, so it will come on gradually every morning and then turn off gradually over night time. And then next to it he has a ceramic for the winter months. If it gets below 18 degrees, I then reset this up so that he doesn't miss out on any heat and get too cold for night time. So up here is his UV. Goes the most of the length of the viv, which is what you want, so that they can get proper vitamins from it. Without that, they end up getting MBD, which is an extremely painful bone disease. I have a reflector, so any of the UV that comes here is reflected straight back in the viv, so he doesn't miss out on anything. And here's the little dude enjoying the morning basking. He has just had breakfast. So along here we have lots of flake plants to try and make it look more realistic. I want to add some more to make it a more foresty vibe for him, with rope climbing. He has a real tree branch which I sealed with varnish to stop it from going mouldy, but it gives him the texture of real wood. He has broken his bridge. I haven't decided whether to buy him another bridge or to get a log to go across the middle for him, because that's usually where he basks for his UV mid-afternoon. I've also got this rope that goes across the middle, which he used to sit on, but he's now too big for it. So So in the bottom half of his viv, I have some ground plants again with cocoa fibre and moss mix to help with the humidity. The moss allows the water that has been absorbed to be released back into the air. Underneath that layer is a layer of clay balls, which again, if there's too much excess water, they soak up any of it and then release it back into the air as humidity, which then really helps him when he's shedding, because Chinese water dragons have problems if there's not enough humidity in the air for them to shed. In the soil is completely bioactive. There's springtails and earthworms and maybe the occasional escapee Mario worm. You can probably see them on this log. There they are. Springtails make a great cleanup clue because they eat up all the debris, dead skin, any dead animals, insects or anything in there, and then their poop refertilizes the soil, which then helps the moss grow. In here is a water tray complete with waterfall and heater when the weather's cooler. I change this to daily or every other day. At the minute it has to be daily because he's currently got 2 types of parasites and I don't want him getting himself reinfected by them. I am considering swapping this out for a small fish tank so that he can dive now that he's much bigger, as this was the original setup when he was only 25 grams. But that's the set. Here's the gorgeous boy now, taking time to UV bask. Unfortunately the parasites have caused him to drop a little bit of weight. So you can see there's a small amount of denting in here and his hip bone showing, and on the forehead he's lost a little bit of his fat reserves here. Oh boy. He is also going into another shed, that's why he's darker in colour. But I've upped his feeding to try and help him regain some of that weight that he lost. And hopefully the medication, the last dose is next week, will help him get rid of what's going on. Hey boyo. So as well as making sure that Eragon has the correct lighting and the UVB is changed regularly, I give his insects some gut loading formula and make sure that they're all dusted before feeding them to him and Thorn. I'll do a video on what I use, what gut loading items that I use, and what insects he gets fed during the week and what days of the week. Obviously at the minute he is in his slightly increased diet to make sure that he does put his fat reserves back on and the weight that he's currently missing. But I'd like to thank you for watching this video and I'll see you next time. Bye!